Do you feel fulfilled in life? Do you feel on purpose that when you wake up, you're excited to start the day? We often get caught up in creating and building all of these things: the business, the lifestyle, the social media following, the relationships, the physique. And we are conditioned to believe that the experience of life that we're after is on the other side of these achievements. That when I have this money, when I have the business or this relationship, then I'll feel free. Then I'm finally complete. Then I'll feel fulfilled in life. But the thing is that it doesn't matter how much you have. It doesn't matter how much you create in life. It will never completely fulfill you. And this is the real rat race that people are stuck in. It's not about getting out of your 9 to 5. It is about this anxious pursuit of external achievements, thinking it will fulfill you, thinking it will complete you. But then you have the lifestyle, or you have the following, or you have the money, and you realize that still something is missing. It is not giving you the experience that you're after. So now you think, I need more. Bigger biceps, more money, a bigger car, a bigger house, a bigger business, whatever it is. And this is the rat race that you're stuck in. And we often mistake that the road towards external achievements is the same road towards internal fulfillment. But something outside of you is never going to fulfill you internally. This is something that is created from the inside out. So that's why I'm not saying that you don't need to be building all of these things. Of course, we're here to build and create things in life. But it's not going to give you the fulfillment. This requires a different focus. This requires a separate set of skills. And that's why I want to give you in this video 3 ways how you can create a life of fulfillment. And the first way is immediately the most important one, because this is the one thing that I focus on with every single client that I meet that is struggling with this topic of fulfillment. And it's all about living a life true to yourself. And in different words, you could also say, are you living a life that is an authentic expression of you? That is an extension of who you are, of your essence. Because when you are living a life true to yourself, you will feel a pull. You are so excited to start building things and creating things because it's true for you. There is this piece of alignment. And when the alignment is there, you feel a pull towards doing things. When things are out of alignment, so when you're not living a life true to yourself, but maybe according to the expectations that other people have of you, that people are telling you on social media that you should be doing with your life. So now it becomes forceful. Now you need to push towards things. And this is what you often see with the hustle culture type of lifestyle, where they are constantly pushing and grinding to get things done. And yes, there is, of course, a truth in this, as in you want to acquire the skills to have that level of discipline. But if it's a constant push in life, you can already tell there's something out of alignment. Something is not right internally. So that's where you want to align things. So this morning I had a beautiful session with someone, and he shared such a simple example that actually is so deep, because he shared with me how alive he felt. He felt vibrant, he felt at peace. He said, life is good. And that's what he shared with me. And he shared an example about the place that he's living in right now. He said, it doesn't feel like home. It doesn't feel like I belong in this place. Yes, I have a table, I have a chair, I can do my things, I have a bed, but it's not really me. So what he did was he looked up a shelf, because he wanted a shelf behind his couch. And instead of just getting a shelf online, he said, I want to build my own shelf. So he started to do research how to build it, what kind of wood to get. And he was so passionate. He was so excited about building the shelf. He shared with me also when he woke up in the morning, he even set his alarm earlier because he wanted to do research on how to build the shelf. So before our session, he went to the store to get the right wood, and all the wood was laying on the floor. And I felt the passion exploding through the screen. And it's such a simple example. He was building a shelf, but it was so true to him. That is the thing. This was an authentic expression of him. He was not just building a shelf. He was his whole home. He was creating his home as an authentic expression of him. And that was the pull, and that's got him so excited about life in general. That is the part that creates fulfillment. So if we would extend this metaphor of, let's say, your house. When you have a house that you're living in, and your family is saying that you need to get these chairs, and school is saying that you need to get this table, and people online are telling you to color the walls in whatever color. And now you're living in a house that is not really you, that is not true to you. You're living in a house that other people told you that you should be living in, with the type of colors, or maybe the art, or maybe the lack of art. Now it's just a practical house, as in, yeah, let me get the cheapest chair, let me get the cheapest table, so I have a table. But what would your house look like if it's an authentic expression of you? And if we use this house as a metaphor for your life. When you look at your life, is your life an authentic expression of you? When I look at your life, the maybe sport that you practice, the house that you live in, the type of relationships that you have, the hobbies and passions that you're pursuing, the career that you have, who you are in your career, is everything an extension of you? Or is it maybe a life that you were forced into, that has been given to you as in, well, I actually wanted to become a doctor, but my parents forced me into law school. Or I actually want to pursue personal training, but I had to become a doctor, or anything like that. Or maybe online, on social media, people are telling me that I should be living in Bali or Dubai, or I need to be a millionaire by 25, and I need to go into e-commerce and dropshipping, or whatever it is. And so now you start to do these things because this is what you think you have to do. But is this truly you? So you can see this is where you want to align things in life. You want to design a life that is true to you. So what does that look like? Maybe already some things started to pop up in this video. So I want you to be very aware also when you're listening to this video, because you can receive downloads when I'm just sharing these things as in, oh, this would be true to me. And if I would even expand on that question as in, if you could do anything you want in life, it doesn't matter what decision you make, what projects you take on, you will never be judged. You will always be supported. You will always be loved. You are guaranteed that you won't fail. You are guaranteed that you will succeed. If all of these criteria are in place, what would you do? What would you pursue? So this already gives you an idea of what is actually true to you. And oftentimes we are so disconnected from a truth because what will my parents think of me? This would be a completely different direction than maybe what your family expects of you, or what school expects of you, or what your friends think that you should be doing. Maybe you want to pursue music. Maybe you want to pursue art. But you think, well, I can never be successful in this. So now there are all these practical fears that are present that are keeping you from your truest expression, from your heart's desire. So that's why you lack this fulfillment, because you're living from the mind and not from the heart. And that's the place that you want to get back to. Because I had a conversation last weekend, and that guy, he described it as having an antenna. So you have an antenna as well. So that's why I said, I want you to be very mindful of the downloads that you are receiving when I'm talking to you, when you're watching this video. Because there's often so much noise out there with social media of people that are telling you what you should be doing and how much money you should be making and all of these things. So you have an antenna that is receiving all the answers that are already inside of you. But you can't hear it because there's so much noise out there. And noise could be voices from family members, voices from social media, from your friends, maybe your own fears that are on top of all of this. And you need to create that quiet space where you can listen and where you can receive. And that's why often your heart's desire is crazy. That's the thing. When your heart is telling you to do something, that you want to be pursuing something, it doesn't make any sense in a lot of cases. And the beautiful thing is where the ego is often attached and the mind is often attached to, we need to get these results, we need to get these outcomes. Your heart gets a lot of fulfillment out of the process. So that's where the example that I gave for the guy, that he's building his own shelf. He was experiencing so much fulfillment and he didn't even have the shelf yet. Just the idea of building that shelf. And there was also a deeper purpose attached to it. Because he was not just building a shelf, he was building a home that was true to him, where he felt at home, where he felt that he belonged. Like, how powerful is this? So all the wood was still laying on the floor, but he felt so fulfilled in the process. So it's not about getting the thing that you want. This is the mistake that people make about fulfillment as well. It's about the process of pursuing it that makes you feel so fulfilled. It's about creating those art pieces where your soul is in it. So that's the first point, and I'm really staying here a bit longer because I really want you to get this. When you get this, you will create so much fulfillment in your life when you live a life true to yourself. So that's the first point. Second point is, it's all about also community and connection. This is very interesting to me because when you look at the people that live the longest, they did also research and studies on this. Like, what do these people have in common? It is not that these people are taking ice baths or that they doing cold plunges, the sauna, all the crazy routines to stay in shape. It's not, they do none of that stuff. The thing that these people often have in common are two things. They have a purpose in life So that's one. They are, and this doesn't have to mean a purpose where they are changing the world. Sometimes they experience this meaning and this purpose by being of service to people, by the job that they're practicing. Maybe they're working in a store and they feel that they have a purposeful life like this because they're serving. So the element of purpose was present, but also the element of community and connection. And this will fulfill you so much in life. And that's where I think we are also being pushed into the wrong direction when it comes to society right now, because we are being pushed towards individualism. We are being pushed towards isolating ourselves. Lock yourself up in a room and build a success, and only then you come out again. It's like these type of mentalities, the lone wolf mentality. Like you will not survive as a lone wolf. Like it's in community and collaboration where you will feel alive. Just imagine walking around in a town where everyone knows you, where they say like, hey, there's Jack again. Like, how are you doing when you walk into a store or when you are getting some meat from the butcher? They know you and they have a little interaction with you. You will feel seen. You will feel heard. It doesn't have to be deep or anything like that, but it's in these little moments of connection and community that you feel that you belong, that you feel that you matter. Like, and this hits me so hard. This also makes me emotional to think about this because I talk to so many guys. And when I acknowledge them, when I see something inside of them, and I just admire something in them, I feel inspired by them, and I share it with them, the number of times where I just had a connection with someone for just 10 minutes, and they just started crying, because never ever has someone told them this in their life. And this shows me that what we're truly after is not this money stuff. It is not that you need $1 million in your bank account, because this is often what they share with me, that they want to be building these things. Yes, fun, let's build these things. But what are you truly after? Some people want to feel seen. They want to feel heard. They want to feel acknowledged. And sometimes it's also hard to admit that this is what we're truly after. I've been running a men's group for 3 years. And what I notice in these sessions as well is that people come on there for that connection piece. They just want to have that touch point with other guys, maybe across the world. They want to feel seen and they want to feel heard, but they also want to be challenged. Because how fun is it when you are doing a workout together with someone that is not just there with you, but that is also challenging you to become better? So when you, and this is similar to living a life true to yourself, when you look at the connections around you right now, are these connections really serving you in life? The family connections, your friends. Are your friends pushing you and challenging you to become better? Do you have a space where you are truly seen and heard? Where people not get to see this, let's say, performance of you, where you have a mask on, but where they get to see you behind the mask, the truest version of you. Do you have spaces where you are really able to share your truth? Do you have people that you can rely on and fall back on to ask for help? Like, this is what we're truly after in life. It's also not just that connection piece, the community piece, but also that safety, feeling that you belong to a community. That's why we are often looking for groups that we belong to. It's like, oh, I'm a Christian, or I'm a this, or I'm a that. I belong to the hustle culture type of lifestyle. Like, you want to belong somewhere. Or no, I'm in these spiritual communities. And I'm not saying that one is right and one is wrong. There's beauty in all of these things. And you can receive beauty from all of these labels. But what it has in common is that you want to feel that you belong, that you are part of a community, that you are part of a group. So this is where you also get to intentionally design this part of your life. And yeah, that's one of the elements when it comes to creating fulfillment, is the connection piece, is the community piece. So it's something that I want you to be mindful of. The last point that I wanted to share with you also that creates fulfillment is service and contribution. And that's where I believe the first point that I mentioned is the most important one, because when you live a life true to yourself, for example, with the connection piece, you wouldn't allow certain relationships to be there in your life. The way that people are treating you, you wouldn't allow it if you are honest with yourself, if you are living your truth. Similar to service and contribution, if you are living a purposeful life from your heart, if you are living a life that is the truest expression of you, I can guarantee you service and contribution is part of it. You want to be of value and of service to other people. And this is what I noticed in my darkest times sometimes, because I have a service-based profession. With coaching, like I'm holding space for people, I'm listening to them, I'm challenging them, I'm acknowledging them. So there's a lot of, let's say, interaction involved and service involved in that interaction and in that space. So when I feel this heaviness in life, because I go through my things as well, like I often feel like, oh my God, I don't want to do this session right now because I feel in such a negative space. But when I step into that space, into that session, I notice that this heaviness just floats away. And I can't explain that feeling, but it's so powerful that the moment I step into a place of and a state of service, that it's not about me. It's not about what I'm feeling. It's not about what I'm thinking. It's all about the individual in front of me. How can I be of service to the best of my ability to the person in front of me? All of my trouble just floats away. And I'm just there with the person and for the person. And that's the power of being in service of other people. Because you remove this I from the equation. And that's, again, you see, I hope that you see the correlation between all of the points that I'm making with the connection and community, where it's not only about you. The more selfish and the more selfish you become and self-absorbed you become, and like it's all about me and how much money am I making and what am I creating, what am I experiencing, the more you put I as a priority, the more you will suffer in life. The more you put an emphasis on connection, other people, service, contribution, you will feel so much more fulfilled in life. You will feel complete when you lean into being selfless. And it doesn't mean that you neglect your own truth and your own priorities or your own needs, like that doesn't happen. But it's actually an extension of your needs to feel whole and complete in life. When you are in service of other people, when you see that you can be of value. So when you look at your life right now, this is the same invitation as with the last points. Are you experiencing that element of service? And this doesn't mean that you have to change careers completely because you can be of service in any moment of the day. When you're walking down the street, do you look people in the eyes? Or are you only absorbed by yourself and your own thoughts and your own feelings? Do you look people in the eyes? Do you smile? Do you say hi? Do you have a little chat with maybe the people that are open to it? And it doesn't matter what kind of job you have. So maybe when you look at what is the truest expression of you, well, I don't want to be doing this job. I want to be doing this job. But maybe this job will help you to set the foundation to be transitioning out of it into a full-time career as a personal trainer or anything like that. So it doesn't matter what you're doing, you can still bring that level of service and contribution in anything that you're doing. Still, even though this job is just temporary and you're going to transition out of it, still you can bring your essence into it. Still, it can be a true expression of you, how you are operating in that environment, even if it's going to be temporary. So where are you of service? Maybe if you do voluntary work or something like that, you will experience that level of fulfillment because you will also feel that you matter. And oftentimes we walk around with these stories that my life doesn't matter. My life is not purposeful, but it does matter. And you can create that experience through service. So these are the 3 points that I wanted to give you when it comes to creating fulfillment. The most important one, living a life true to yourself. The second one, of course, the connection and community that you want to be cultivating and that you want to intentionally focus on. And to just highlight one point, if you go to this part of the video, I'm also running a men's group where it's a very low barrier of entry, where you can start building and creating with men from all over the world that are on a similar wavelength, on a similar frequency. And we don't just talk about life, we're here to build, we're here to create, we're here to be not just expanding on the external achievements, but also to create that internal depth and alignment, expand on that level of self-awareness. So this is where I see harmony between those two worlds that we're cultivating on these groups. So we're all there with a similar intention to be creating more of that. So if this is something that you're interested in, I think I've never put a link in the description, so I'll put a link there about that community to be joining. And also the third one is the service and the contribution that you want to be leaning into. So it's what are you building in life? Who are you building it with? And also, who are you building it for? So these are the questions that you want to answer, and you will create a life of fulfillment. So let me also know in the comments below, because this is not the end all be all. There are so many different ways to create fulfillment in life. And if you have a different way, I would love to hear your perspective on the whole topic of fulfillment. So definitely let me know in the comments below. And if you want to see more of these videos, give a like, subscribe. I know you have to be saying these things or something, and I'll see you in the next video.